Hey everybody, it's Adam, and I'm the Simviator. Welcome back to my channel. Today is a big day for my channel because this will be the first time that I use my home sim from beginning to end on the flight. If you've been here before and you've been following along while I make my videos, I really appreciate the support. If you're new here, hit like, subscribe, come sit right seat with me while we fly from Saba to St. Barts. This will be a short field takeoff and a treacherous landing. So come along and enjoy the video. Hey everybody, my friends at AeroBracelet sent me another bracelet. This is going to be the Jet bracelet. Comes in this nice white box, which is opposite of the last one. It is made of stainless steel. This is the same material that airplanes are made of. That's something they wanted to keep in line with the product, was to have their product made of the same thing that aircraft are made of. Nice stainless steel feel here. It's got the detailed doors and stuff on it. It's really nice quality made bracelet. It's got the braided leather here, very durable. Has a nice little pattern to it. I'll go ahead and put it on for you right now. All right, so this is what it looks like on there. That's how you put it on. Very cool design. I do like this one. It reminds me of Cessna Citation or Premier One. It's got the dual jet engines in the back. As compared to the last one that had them hanging off the wings. So, very nice quality made. It's got the felt box once again to protect your purchase. So, very quality made bracelet. And you can head on over to aerobracelet.com where they have that and the aviator bracelet that I showed you in one of the previous videos. So, yep, there's our website. Head on over to aerobracelet.com. They have more than just bracelets. They actually have a whole slew of things in their store for the aviation enthusiast in your life, or if you yourself are the aviation enthusiast. Go on over there. They have lanyards. They have more bracelets than just the two that I've shown. They have the cool keychains here as well, as you can see. So head on over to aerobracelet.com. And one more thing, while you're on the Aero Bracelet website picking up a bracelet, anything else you want on the website that I just showed you, go ahead and throw it in your cart. Load it up. So when you're done, you can use Simviator15 and the special discount code to get 15% off your entire purchase. That's Simviator15. Hey, it's the Simviator. I got one more thing I want to show you before we get into the video. I picked up this pretty cool app in the Google Play Store, and it has a lot of things for avionics on it in case you don't have it. I'm not going to get into it too extensively here because I'm about to play the video right after this, but I just wanted to make you guys aware because you will see it in the video, and I didn't want anybody wondering what it was. So here it is. Yeah, so this is a nice little app that I picked up. It's about 11, 12 bucks, I think it was, but it connects. You just have to download one program on your PC, and it connects to your phone. As you can see, I have a Samsung. This is a J7. The phone I'm recording on is S9 Plus, so it'll work really well with that. But I don't really need it for this features here. These I'm just showing you guys like what the different ones are. But this is obviously your nav, your radios, your navigation, transponders at the very bottom. I have that stuff right over here, so I don't need it for that reason. There's also this here. I'll use it for this reason here because down here at the lower bottom it'll show me what waypoints I'm going, how far I am from them. I don't have a GPS yet, so that's the reason primarily why I'm using this, and for this reason here as well. This here shows you where your plane's at. You can see what winds are over here, which is really helpful. You can, either center it or get off the center and see where you're at. I'm not in Africa right now. It's just kind of default where it was at, but you can center your plane whenever you want. You can do heading mode or have it just look straight over top. If you if you use this here, the FMS that comes with it, which I haven't yet, I don't have a Navigraph subscription. So you could, if you had that, you could upload it here, type in your flight plan, your whole thing, and down here it'll show you what the next fix that you're going to is, or your approach, or whatever you're doing along whatever you planned your flight as. If you did like straight IFR, it'll have all that stuff down there. Here's a PFD. That's a really cool feature there. I'll also bring this up from time to time because it'll have the fixes here as well, how far we have to go. And this thing here, I can tell you, is extremely accurate. I've messed with it a little bit while I was flying. Obviously, my PFD that I'm using is right here, but I've used this one as well, and it's a very accurate. Whenever I pull up, whenever I turn, bank, all that stuff. It's quick to read it, and yeah, it's a nice little thing to have if you don't have a setup like this with a cockpit panel. You have your autopilot stuff here, which is a really nice feature, and then you have a nice little mimicked this stuff here. Right here, I mean, it looks just like it. The landing gear, the switches, all that stuff. So what I really like about it is you can put your V1 speed, your VR speed, V2, VREF. That stuff's really cool to add to it. So yeah, FS multi-panel. I got it off the Google store. But I just wanted to show you guys a quick overview of it before I actually use it in a flight, so you know why I'm using it. But primarily, it's for my navigation and where I'm at, because otherwise I'd have to use the Garmin 1000 MFD that's in the game, or I'm sorry, the sim, and that would kind of take away from the realism of having the cockpit and sitting in the cockpit. So FS radio panel, about $12. Go on and get it if you want to add a little more realism to your sim if you're trying to set up your own home cockpit. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be taking a flight from Saba to St. Barts. These are two very popular, well-known airports. This is going to be a short takeoff because this is a very short runway, and St. Barts is known for its dicey landing where you got to go over the road and then pitch up to bleed off some speed. So we're going to go ahead and take that challenge, both on takeoff and landing, and we'll get this started. We're in the BEECHCRAFT Bonanza. I have the checklist here. I got it off of a website. I'll try and find out where I got it and put the link in the description. I can't think of it off the top of my head, but JD made this version 0.2, so pretty handy thing. I just printed it out and put laminate on it, so it's a pretty cool thing to have to further the immersion. But engine start, we're going to go ahead and first we're going to get a pushback, because clearly I'm not going to spin this thing around here. And then while that's going on, we'll fire up battery 1. We only have one. Alternators on. And then we'll go ahead and get our beacon light, nav light, strobe light. Alright, so one of the cool features, you saw this already, I covered the FS radio panel, but one of the cooler features too is this is the VOR CD. This is the CDI button I have right down here. So this will go VOR, or I think it's actually this one here, VOR or GPS. Now it's running off the GPS. So there you go, right down there. You can't see it from this far out. I'll try and get more cameras to show you guys more stuff, but so down there is our fix that we're going to be going to. Alright, that's probably pushed back far enough. So we'll set the parking brake. Parking brake's been set. Alright, fuel selector. We have enough fuel in both tanks. There's not one that's more full than the other. Both at 50. That's plenty what we need. This is going to be a pretty much a 10-minute flight from here to St. Barts. I've already filed the flight plan with... Oh, no, you know, I didn't, actually. Let's go ahead and take care of that. Alright, filing the flight plan. Connect first. Now we'll file the flight plan. Let's see. Alright, that's working. That is VATSIM. That's what the VATSIM interface is, I suppose. That connects you to the server. That's your flight plan that you'll file. Um, Give me 1 second. Let's kill this warning so you can actually hear me. All right. So, yeah, this is the interface here. That's your current comms channel that you're on. I'll change that once I fire up the avionics. This is obviously your ident number or your tail number. That's the ident in case they need you at ident if they can't find you. You'll always squawk mode C. I've never had to do this and never had to squawk mode C. And then these are your available controllers in range. We don't have any, so we're going to go on Unicom. Unicom's 122.8. So once we get this fired up, I'll go into Unicom and I'll make the call outs in case we have anybody around us. The thing with FS radio panel is for this here, it tracks real world flights. So if there's anybody around, which there isn't right now, but if there's anyone around, it'll actually show you if they're higher than you, lower than you, equal to where you're at. But it's going to be real life traffic. It's not going to be the VATSIM traffic. I'd have to go into the VATSIM app that you could also bring up here to see if there's anyone around. But if there is anyone nearby, we'll hear them because they'll either be landing where we're going. I know there were a couple planes at St. Barts when I saw it, so we'll make our call outs when we go there. Let them know. We're pretty much going to go straight in. I don't think we're going to fly the pattern there at all. So we'll make our call out. If it's safe to do so, then we'll go ahead and land. All right, so don't have any controllers in range. There's really not much else I can tell you, but it's a great community. It's a great tool to have. So, all right, we're back in it here. So, park and brake is set. Batteries on, alternators on, lights are on. Fuel selector, again, both at 50. Plenty of what we need. Cowl flaps closed. All right, we're going to go full rich. And we're going to put the prop control all the way forward. And then we're going to open the throttle. And we're going to fuel pump for 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. All right, now we're going to crack it to 1/4 inch. These throttles, this would be 1/4 inch if this I was using the full thing, but I don't because for some of the planes that have a reverse, this here is the detent, and then here is reverse. So this is pretty much 1/4, and we are gonna start. All right, Avionics on. We'll set this to Unicom. All right, we're on Unicom. Anyone nearby? And then we have the squawk code 7000 because we are not in the U.S. We're in the Caribbean. There are different transponder codes for different areas. You can look those up. There's a whole lot. I haven't done any international flying yet with VATSIM. I will look to expand upon that, but in the meantime, I'll just be doing pretty much U.S. flying. So we would be squawking 1200 for VFR, which is what we're doing on this flight here. Filed the flight plan. I got 4,500 is going to be our cruising altitude. We'll VS 1,000. That'll get us there pretty quickly. And so we'll hit VS, we'll hit nav, because we're going to be running off of the nav when we're going. And then it presets the altimeter. It's 29 or 9 or 8. So we won't change that because we're not going to get high enough to put it back to standard, which is 29 or 9 or 2. All right, so before we taxi, flight controls. Here's the part. I'm eventually going to get 2 more 55-inch TVs to put on the sides. This way I don't have to do this, but I'm going to do it just because it's part of the pre-flight checks and we want the realism. Free and correct. All right. Nav lights are on already. Taxi light on. Altimeter's already preset. And parking rate release. Then we'll make our call out as well. Saba traffic, Banana 201 Romeo will be taxiing to runway. Yeah, there's our first mistake. Let me see what runway we're going to. So the nice thing about this app is if you zoom in enough, you should be able to see, should label what runway. It runs off of Google Maps there. Saba traffic, Bonanza, November 201 Romeo will be taxiing to runway 12, back taxiing at Saba traffic. All right, so there's no taxiway here at this airport. You literally go out on the runway and you got a back taxi to take off. I don't know for sure, but I know if I had to guess, I don't think you could land on runway 12. There's rocks there, so I think you would have to come in the other runway, which is 30. All right, so we'll center. So this is the community mod, Bonanza, which is a very nice alright, in real life we would wing strike those, but thankfully we're not. Alright, taxi lights on. Let's look right, look left. Doesn't look like anybody's coming in. Alright, so we're going to get a bit of a downhill run taking off this way. Let's center that. Full rich, full forward. As you can see what I was talking about, I don't think you could really land this thing over here. Want to come in the other way, 30. Alright. Set our parking brake. Drop this down to idle. We will hit our checklist and look for the short field takeoff here, which is what that is. Alright, brakes set. Throttle full, release. We're going to rotate at 62 to 67 knots. Our initial climb will be out of 84, and you want to set the flaps at 1. And the goal here is to get as much speed as possible on a short takeoff. So we are going to throttle up. I'll release the brakes. Once we hit that 67, I believe it was. Yeah, 62 to 67. So we'll look about 65 will V1. We'll get it in the air. All right, I'm going to set my takeoff pitch trim. That's something you definitely want to do because that would have made it very hard to take off by not setting that. So, all right. Okay, we're all set. So I'll give it full throttle. And here we go. .40 knots, and pretty much at the end of the runway here. We're good. All right, gear up, positive rate, and flap up. So we want to pick up as much speed as we possibly can immediately. And we are doing well, 75 and climbing. And we'll go ahead and hit autopilot. Let that take over. Alright, so one thing I didn't do, we'll close the cowl flaps. That only matters about 2 knots, so that wasn't a big deal. The one thing that I didn't do that I should have done was put the landing lights on for takeoff, so I didn't do that. I just have to remember it for next time. And we are off. Let's check our... Alright, so we are 16.5 nautical miles from Delta Mike Golf Golf Alpha. We'll be there in 7 minutes. And I wanted to add an extra fix just to kind of show how that worked. So we are climbing. And then another thing I didn't do is call that I was taking off. So I'll have to remember to call when we're actually landing. So I don't know if the camera's picking that up or not, but that's very smooth climb. Like I said, this thing is very responsive. Just a really good overall tool to have. I mean, you could, if you wanted to, you could change this. It's whatever you're feeling like. This here, sometimes I'll check this because this is the, these are your fuel here. This is the EGT. This is the prop RPM. So that's a really good screen to have up. If you wanted to use this as your PFD, because it even shows the autopilot. We're using GPS. So it's a really good tool. All right, so we're coming up to 3,000 feet. That's the altitude where you want to start leaning out. You'll see the EGT start to drop a little bit because it's not getting the mixture that it needs. So I'll start leaning out here. And we're not high enough for it to make a variable difference, so right now we'll just leave it at that. And we're almost at our cruising altitude. Once we get up there, I'll back the prop down a little bit, probably to about 2,500. The cool thing about this sheet too, it has your cruise. If you want to do a max power cruise or a normal cruise, we can probably just set it to a normal cruise because we're extremely close to St. Barts. It's that island actually right over there. So 1,000 feet per minute, perfect set. We're coming up to 4,500 and we're leveling off right now. So I'll watch the RPM gauge here. And we'll back it down to 2,500. Right there. And then we'll watch the EGT. And right there is good. That's a good flow. So we are now cruising. In the manifold, they want it down to about 23, so we'll back the throttle down a little bit. So It's a great combo right there. It's the first time I've actually said it like this. Could try landing this way. Just track. So we have a 3-knot tailwind pushing us perfectly from behind, so that'll obviously change once we turn to the right. But one of the things I really like about this is, you know, telling us how far we are from our next fix. So we're 3.5 nautical miles from Delta Mike Golf Golf Alpha, and once we hit that one, we'll turn and head towards St. Barts, and then I can call out how far out we are. And in the meantime, while we're waiting on that, we are going to take a look at St. Barts. Take a look at St. Barts. The VATSIM map's a great thing to use as far as that goes, because you can really zoom in and see. For one, you can see yourself. So that's us right there, en route there. And then you can zoom in and actually see what runway is what. So we'll be coming into runway 10 once it right banks us here. There we go. So we've hit our where we need to be, and TFFJ, which is St. Bart's Airport code, is up next. We're 11 miles out, so I'm going to go ahead and lower our altitude. We'll do 2,500. The elevations on the islands out here in the Caribbean are fairly flat, so we'll back down the power and VSS down. We'll do 1,000 feet per minute, same as when we climbed. We'll monitor our speed so we don't overspeed. Everything looks good. And then I'll call out a 5-mile final. I just looked on VATSIM map and I didn't see anybody in the area, but we'll try and do it the right way that we didn't do when we left Saba. And we'll check out our, so we're in descent right now. Approach checklist, and we're 15 to 10 nautical miles out. We are well past 10 nautical miles out. So we'll throw the landing lights on. Fuel selector is not a factor. Cowl flaps, we'll leave them closed. Mixture, full rich, which you want to do anyway because we're just at 3,000 feet. Altimeter, we left it. I believe it was, actually, is it on here? I don't think I've ever looked to see if it's on here. Yeah, I don't see an altimeter on this, which is pretty shocking, actually, for how well this is. So, all right, so we're going to power up here so we don't bleed any speed. 29 or 9 or 8. All right, we're almost within that 5-mile window, so we'll call that out. Altimeter's good. Landing checklist, and I'll call it out right now. St. Bart's traffic Bonanza 201 Romeo on 5-mile final, full stop landing runway 10. St. Bart's traffic. All right.
Clear for taxi via apron to the holding point runway 17, roger.
Okay, so maybe somebody is there. So I'm going to go ahead and take control of the aircraft. We'll start our descent. So we want to land at about 90 knots. We're going to go ahead and put our first flaps down. Gear down. 3 green is what we want to see. At about 2 miles, I'll put the second notch of flaps down. We're at 90 knots right now. All right, just checking one more time. Full rich. Full forward.
Check it out. 5x5.
And 2 miles, we'll go final notch of flaps, and we'll pitch it down because it's going to want to come up.
Juliana, traffic November 89 Alpha November India. Confirm please what the minutes for landing off runway 10, please.
Okay, I want to pick up a little more
How many
speed.
times?
So Juliana is the island that is to our left. It's going to be to the north. And now we're going to go sterile.
Traffic November 89 Alpha November India. How many times for aircraft on final approach runway 10, please? Confirm.
Right over the road. All right, flight idle. Pitch up, bleed, and there we go. Brakes. There it is. Beautiful. Beautifully done. Spin it right around. St. Barts traffic, Bonanza 201 Romeo will be back taxiing runway 28 to ramp St. Barts traffic. So taxi light on here. That landing might have been slightly harder than you probably want, but when dealing with an approach like that and the need to get it stopped before you put it in the drink at the end, I'd say all things considering that was a pretty good landing. So we're going to go to the parking over here on the right. And again, that traffic was Princess Juliana, another famous airport for the, I'm sure if you haven't seen it, go to YouTube and type in Princess Juliana, and you'll see the 747s blowing the sand at all the tourists on the beach or parting their hair when they're landing. There's our marshallers there. That's a steep hill. We'll go ahead and park it right here. Try not to chop him up. Alright, parking brake set. Now look at our shutdown procedures. Parking brake set. Lights off. Avionics off. Throttle 1000 RPM. We pretty much have it shut down. Mixture cut off. And there we go. Put the RPM down. Magnetos. That's off. We'll go alternator and battery. And that was a successful flight. Thanks for joining me on it. If you like what you saw, hit the like, subscribe, come sit right seat with me on the next one. We'll see you later, guys.